January the 21st, 2017, Frost Jason Boehm Live, in the Comorbid Valley, Courtney, British Columbia. Well, Mental Health Declaration of Human Rights, basically how to treat a human being in society. Today's newspaper. Well, let's start this out. Rule number 1, it says, you have the right to be treated with dignity. Never being treated with dignity in over 16 years. Social services, went there, denied social services, forced to live on the street. Period. Froze, wet, hot, cold, sunburns, and so forth. No human dignity. Denied by social services and not treated as an equal human being, and had psychological warfare and assaulted by a mother. What else? Oh, MLA back then, Gillespie, got me my glasses. Thank goodness. You say we're equals and you respect us and you treat people with dignity. I don't think so. Government of Canada, your doctors and institutions threaten people with lifetime incarcerations or institutions or on medication without a proper legal system. You know, fair equal justice system, fair trials, denying to talk to a lawyer, reading your rights, and so forth. Not charged under any criminal code. You sterilize lethal injection, capital punishment, and violate laws, ethics, and human rights. Manslaughter, sterilization, and a genocide. You detain somebody. You haven't treated anybody with any dignity in 16 years. You psychologically play with their heads when they go get jobs and refuse to find their proper wages at the labor boards as well. Sleep on the floor, no beds, no grants to get beds and furniture so you can live with dignity in this world, like the guy over there. But you want to work and have a job, but you can't find a job because you have a lack of education. Under the Mental Health Declaration of Human Rights, it says you have the right to education and whatever education you need as well. So I was on their system. You didn't ask me if I wanted education. Still on, I'm detained for life because you killed me and manslaughtered me with a capital punishment with that lethal injection called Invega. You owe me a re-education. You stripped me of my hormones with this as well. You stripped me of my blood and you shrunk my penis. You owe my penis back to 9 inches. You owe my hormones back at my discretion. And you owe me my dignity so I can live my life in my own domain, in my own house, in a clean environment that somebody hasn't shit, pissed, or harmed that environment, like the Washington studios as well, because it's not a clean environment when people spraying urine in the air, violating strata titles laws like aerosols in the air, and so forth and so forth and so forth. And the complete psychological crap that people have done on purpose. And what else? Yep, you never told me illegal rights, number 9, as well. Manage my own affairs, yep, but it says you have to go to the courts. And 7 times asked the doctor for my medical reports, still haven't gave it to me. My parents never treat me with any dignity either. They want to yell, scream, steal my money, treat me like crap, and that's all I'll say as well. Neglect, theft, child slavery, could have done a better job, and always talking about transgenders and changing names and whatnot. One of my parents as well. They deny me physical exercise in the open. They took my hormones away. Now I'm forced to sit in a seat. I can't run, walk, breathe. I ran the steeplechase in grade 12. 1,500 meters in 5:05, ran the mile then, that would have been probably 4 minutes, because that's 500 meters further than a mile, and that's running and jumping over stuff. And, oh yeah, in the psych ward, no clean underwear for a week. I had to wash them every day, and walk around in their gowns that were covered in pee stains. And, yeah, clean environment. People walk around with chemical nicotine smokes and shaking it, knowing that I am allergic to nicotine, agitating me the whole time I'm in there. And, oh yeah, well, on meds and on social services for 16 years, It says the proper dietary and nutrition of 3 meals a day at least. Never had that. On my meds the whole time. Institutionalized in a correctional service if you're on disability and forced to take meds, like I was, forced. You don't have consent forms in double or quadruple, like going to the bank. They have your copy, you have your copy, as with social services and every other government estate. Hospitals ran the same way. You're ran by the Government of Canada. You're a government institution or a government faculty or agency, whatever you want to call it. You violated human rights, laws and ethics. You didn't treat anybody with dignity, and so forth. It isn't funny what somebody has to go through, what you're trying to do. Women's rights movements and everything else like that. If you want to try somebody, it's a fair equal trial, fair justice system. Treat people with dignity. Don't pick sides, RCMP or police, military as well. That's what the courts are for. You hand somebody a summons, they go to court, and you prove your case. You don't fabricate a bunch of stuff and lies and acts and wait for the best edit or cut for your movie and edit things and piece it together like a high-end movie that costs $1 billion to assault a human being that's never assaulted you in any way. There's no such thing as an attitude adjustment if you treat people with dignity. Have their proper hormones, their proper nutrition in their bodies, and treat them with respect and not always put them down, Dave lied, calling them retards and no good for nothing. People try their hardest. A kid's a kid. They don't threaten you. They might be angry at the world because they don't know better. And it's an easy game. Once you put them on their back and throw them in the air, they know they've been overpowered. Then you look at them and, ha, I got ya. Now you want to do that again? Then they think twice. And a game on a rugby field is just a game of gentlemen or football. Yeah, you get hit, but the person can get up again and keep playing. Not hit with a needle so they can't walk, talk, breathe, or think properly, or have sex, or enjoy life ever again because you just capital punishment and killed them like you did to me. Government of Canada. All agencies, even the police, even the ombudsman is degrading me by what he says. Section 73 doesn't exist in the Canadian Criminal Code book in the Department of Justice when you Google it on their search engine. They don't have a Section 73. You just want your money for being a government agency in your communist state of mind, and you just belittle everybody in privatization. You're degrading the human beings by lying that there's privatization, because I've never had what my teachers told me. The sky's the limit. Whatever you put your mind to, Ross, you can do it. Impossible. I've always had to accept what I had to accept for the time being to survive in this world and never have anything I've ever wanted in life. Only the lowest grade crap. Period. Ladies that only last 7 months in a relationship because they see them a dead end and something better. Because there's not proper food. And they can't work because they can't find a job either. You make somebody dig in the dumpster social services so they could buy a bed, a TV, a sofa or a chair to sit on, or proper clothes and food so they get the nutritional value up enough to go get a new job or move out of an area where they might be able to find a job because they say it's the worst place in Canada, the West Coast, to live. And then you do this spray and psychological bullshit and try to turn around and charge them with uttering threats when you're the problem trying to degrade a human being, taking their human dignity away and violating human rights, laws, and ethics. The Government of Canada. Who the hell do you think you are in this Holocaust Act called a concentration camp, assaulting a human being and taking their hormones away? That's right, my voice is changing because there's stuff in my food and my hormones are all fucked up and semen is less coming out of the body. You degraded me. You harmed me and violated me and my human rights. A transgender and one of those dolls those Japanese make, or a dildo, is a pervert because you had to design something to pleasure yourself. You have to have a dolly to fuck, to clean, to kiss, to love. You're a pervert. Just like a old man hitting on a 13-year-old. like Justin Payne does. You're a pervert if you think you're a doctor and that's a transgender too, because you think it's right a man takes his penis off because you're gay and you want to pound his ass, but you want a woman, so you don't violate ancient laws that gayness was wrong. You're a pervert because you psychologically want to make a Frankenstein and harm that person too, and violate them and take their natural hormones and state of life away from them. You're a pervert doctor and a Frankenstein doctor because you're altering somebody's life that they don't want to be, and they don't realize it till it's too late. And you're psychologically playing mind games because you're refusing to give them their hormones when it's needed. We don't need doctors in the world. We need to be able to pick up our prescriptions, read a book, and go, oh, the FDA has this, this, and this, and this for prescriptions, like looking on the shelf in any store for any vitamins from A to Z at the superstore, or whey proteins, or cough medicine on testosterone, proper Tylenol at 600 milligrams or 1,000 milligrams instead of 400 that's on the shelf, and bronchital stuff called clenbuterol for asthma. You don't have to go and get your asthma spray, or you just go up and buy it. It's behind the counter. And what else? There's my testosterone. A woman wants estrogen because she wants her boobs to grow or something like that, and so forth. And there's the pigment dye you can take so your skin can change color or not change color like Michael Jackson did, and so forth. Our human right and choice of life to do. Take anything over there. Till you're physically pounding somebody with your hand and overpowering somebody, 1 to 1,000,000 people, let's say, or 10, with psychological abuse, it's not assault. Just like all these criminal harassment, sexual harassments at the workplace, and bullying scenarios that are on the TV all the time. Doctors psychologically harming human beings is bullying, criminal harassment, bullying on the workplace, because you're refusing and using psychological warfare and harming people and taking their dignity away because you refuse to give their proper hormones and deal with life properly. You're a gang called doctors and affiliated government agencies assaulting and taking dignity away from human beings. That's all you've done. I lived in a world there wasn't any woman abuse in the house. Yeah, there was some yelling. There was no bruises on my mother's face, but it never lasted more than 3 minutes. Mom said Dad, as a kid, sleeping in the crib, would punch holes through the drywall. That's Ross Joseph Francis. Dave Lai, he would slam things around and break plastic and yell and scream and degrade people with words. And Mom, she'd just pretend you don't exist. And little brothers, they kick you in the face while you're sleeping. You didn't even know you were sleeping there and how you got there in the end. Hypnotize somebody. Let's find out the truth. Sigmund Freud, hey? You want to repeat everything Sigmund Freud does. Find poverty and assault them with psychological and physical harm. When was a soup kitchen ever have meals like the Rock Cafe that I sent Dawn and Christy Clark? Pre-made meals with chicken breasts in it, beef, or fish, with pastas, rice, yam in them. Soup is water with a few vegetables, and it's not nutrition at all. Anyhow, dignity, human dignity. When you start following human rights, laws, and ethics, I'll believe you're my government. You'll have a hard time giving back my dignity. I need a new domain, an asylum away from everybody's thinking. It's going to cost billions of dollars because I can't live with your bullshit and retardation around me. Always just bring a new faculty in just to do it another way, but the same way? A new face. It's by the book, eh?